Hi, before we start this ASMR video, I'd like to thank all these members on my Patreon for their continued support. If you're looking for any content that I create on other platforms, check the link below. Now, let's get into the video. Alright, hi everybody. Welcome to a workout session with me. This is going to be a session where everything is just raw and uncut. You're going to see me moving the camera. You're going to see me working out. You're going to see me taking breaks. You're going to see frustration on some of these workouts. But it's going to be a fun workout session together. You can really see how hard I push myself when I'm working out. So let's get into it. I'll tell you what I'm doing. The first exercise that I'm going to be doing is a barbell row. I start this, what I do is I do my compound lifts first before I do any of my other accessory lifts. I think it's the best way to do a workout because you want to get your biggest lifts out of the way first before you do the lighter ones, because you're going to gas yourself out, and your biggest muscles you want to work those first, if that makes sense. So I'm starting out with 135 pounds for sets of 4 by 8 reps. I always find that the first set here is annoyingly heavy, even though it's not, and I'm going to add weight to it. So that first set is done. The whiteboard that you can see in the back, that's my workout in terms of like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Thursday, and Friday. That first set that you just saw, that was 135 pounds for a barbell row. And I'm just going to be adding another 25 pounds to each side of the barbell, bringing the next 3 sets of 8 reps up to 185 pounds. Super nice, super enjoyable. It's a good heavy weight that, for me, challenges me. You'll notice that I have a belt on and that I have straps. The belt is for added stability. When I take a deep breath, I can push my abs up against that belt like so. And it creates a lot of rigidity, helps me with my back, because my back I injured many years ago. So you'll see I'm wrapping those straps around the barbell. Essentially, it helps me so I can pull the weight consistently, and I don't have to worry about my grip giving out. There's many other exercises that I can do that work on grip strength. But for this one, I don't want the grip strength to fail. I want to be able to complete the reps without having that fail. As you can see, it's heavy. But that's the only way to make yourself grow. If you do repetitions that are too easy and you're not breathing hard afterwards, or you're not, gassed or tired, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. That's the easiest way to say that. That shirt that I'm wearing, it's an Alpha Elite shirt, and the pants, the shorts, those are Alpha Elite as well. You can see I'm growing out my mustache a little bit here. Don't mind me picking my arm. I have a little thing there that it's just like it gets my attention because I keep noticing it, and you'll see me try and pick it throughout the entire video. So what you're looking at here is my gym. This is my home gym. It's super nice. I have a full barbell rack there. was just talking to an Amazon driver there. He was delivering a package to the front door. I swear I have a shopping addiction, and all I want to do is just buy stuff. That's not a good thing. I'm trying to work on that. So we're going to be getting into the third set here, and again, as you can see, I am just wrapping up that grip around the barbell. Like I said, it really does help with your lifts. Alright, so getting it nice and tight, because once I lift it off, I don't want to set it back down. I want to just complete the lift and go. So I'll probably pick it up and away we go. Always have to check to make sure I'm in frame. That's where you see me looking when I look up. So I take a deep breath, stable my core, and I pull. 185 pounds here for sets of 8 reps. It does get heavy. I take little breathers because I don't want my quality of my repetitions to fail. I want the quality of my reps to be good. I don't know how else to word that. You can see I'm breathing pretty heavy here. I'm leaning against the bench because, well, I was tired. My mustache is coming along pretty good. Just looking at it here, it looks a little uneven actually, so that's gonna annoy me. I'm gonna have to fix that after I finish this workout, make it look a little better. I'm wearing the Beats by Dre headphones. They're over-the-ear headphones. They're perfect because usually after I'm done my workouts, I will go do a bike ride for about 30 to 40 minutes. And they don't fall off your ears. I find that the Apple earphones, they fall off. So like I said, this video is sort of raw and real, so I'm trying to get other views for you so that you can enjoy different angles and everything. So you'll see me adjust the camera quite a bit and sort of test out how that looks. That's where my eyes are. They're looking at the monitor above the camera to see sort of, where is it? Where am I? Can you actually see me? My chest is definitely starting to come in though, and my biceps look pretty good. Figured if I zoomed out there, it gives you a better shot of seeing my gym. So you might be wondering the plates. The plates are all different colors. They're called bumper plates. They essentially have a plastic coating around them, so if they're dropped, they bump. Each one, different color, different weight category. It's just an easy way. Color coding, I like it. I don't have to think. I can just sort of do. I was already starting to sweat here, so my hair is looking pretty gross at this point. Alright, so I believe this is my 4th set that I'm getting into now. Just trying out a different angle, and we'll get into the 8 final reps that I'll do. You'll see I'm struggling quite a bit, but if you don't struggle, you're not really working out at that. Not to say you're not working out, but you're not building muscle. And when I work out, the entire purpose of working out is not just to say I did, it's to build muscle. So yeah, this is my gym. It has everything I need. I have a squat rack, a Smith machine, cables, I have a bench, I have dumbbells that go up to 70, but I definitely need like some 80s and 90s because those 70s are starting to get a little light. They don't, not to say they're not heavy, but I can do many reps with them now, as opposed to sometimes I like to have a lower rep range with a higher volume weight. Because when you're building muscle, yes, you can do more repetitions, which gives you more volume, but I'm trying to build strength as well. It's a fine line of just trying to, build, but anyways, I won't get into that. So here I'm just doing exactly what it looks like. I'm unloading the rack of weights. The next workout that I'm going to be doing is, I believe, a lat pull down. I'm always particular about putting things away before getting into the next exercise. I figure it's a good way to, it's just a good way to keep cleanliness in your house. So you'll see I'm just starting to set up the weights for that lat. Well, I thought I was actually going to be doing a seated row. That's why the mat was down there, but I realized, oh no, I'm doing a lat pull down. So I'll probably end up moving the camera at this point. Once I get it into a better view, once I've set up. This is my dog, Blue. She was sitting in the back, so it's pretty warm, but she's just come to say hello. She's a good girl. She's the best girl. She's almost 2 years old in September. She is a purebred black lab who weighs 45 pounds. She's a tiny girl. I like to refer to her as sort of a miniature lab. But that's okay. Some people still think she's a puppy, even though she's almost 2. But she'll be that size forever, which is great. So, like I said, I am adjusting the camera here, and we're doing raw and real. I'm not going to be doing any edits or anything. I'm just going to bring you along for the entire thing. So, this first set, I'm going to be doing 3 sets of, I believe, 15 reps, and each one will be 220 pounds for 3 sets of 15 reps. What you can't see on the camera that I'm doing is those straps. I'm wrapping them around the grips that I'm holding on to because, like I said, many other exercises I can focus on grip strength without those, but I'm primarily trying to target my lats here, and I don't want my grip to give out first. So the first set here, so I realized actually the piece where the cable is attached to was a little too low, so I couldn't get a full stretch, so I had to lift it up. There we go, and I got it. So perfect timing. But I realized that, as you can see, trying to adjust the camera to zoom out here with my foot, but that didn't work, so I got to re-strap that entire segment again. But I want you to be able to just watch. So that's what I'm doing. It makes it easier to enjoy the video. Alright, so I'm comfy cozy and you can see my face now, so that's what I wanted. I'm just taking a look at the rep board. So here we go. 15 repetitions, 220 pounds. This is primarily working on my lats, under my armpits there, going down into my lower back. I always find that the first set is hard, and not to mention, I was already tired because of the barbell rows, because I'm still working my lats on both of these exercises. So it does get quite tiring. There we go. 15 reps done. 2 sets to go. I had to move the mat a little bit. I found like a nice seating position there, but when you have metal that you're sitting on, it's not exactly comfortable. So I'm gonna move the camera here because I just want to describe it. And it took me a while actually to find a nice view where you could see me. If you're wondering what that sign says on the back behind me there, it says something about cinnamon buns, but I like having big buns too, or something. I can't actually remember in the moment of. You'll see, I'm looking at my arms here. I got a little bit of I have a zit, or a pimple, whatever you want to call it, on my arm. Just looking back at that board there to make sure that I'm looking at the right exercise, and I'll get comfortable again. It's always a reach to get up there. Alright, I just hiked up my shorts there because they were sticking to the mat and it was annoying me. So, wrapping my fingers, hands around the pads there, and then I will get down into position. I've been working on my legs a lot actually, so as you can see, they are quite big. That teardrop muscle by my kneecap is definitely grown. Alright, so we've got a new view. Second set, 15 reps. Now, what you may be asking yourself is that you've seen a lot of people use a different bar when doing lat pull down. Their arms are more spread. When you do a wide grip lat pull down as opposed to close grip, which is what I'm doing, it just targets different parts of your lats. So doing close grip focuses a little bit on biceps, but more of your lower lats where they connect to the lower part of your rib cage. When you do wide, that's how you get sort of those wings. As you can see, I'm not tired yet, but I'm tired. I guess that's the easiest way to say. I always do a little walk around. I don't really know what to do in these cases here. I'm just listening to my music and enjoying myself. And then, I don't know what you do, but when I'm working on it, I inspect my body when I'm doing between sets, and I'm back to that thing between my bicep and my forearm. I just try and get at it, but it's annoying as heck. Also, don't mind the farmer's tan. I can see how intense it is just seeing this now. So I should be getting back into that set anytime now, but I'm pretty intrigued by that thing on my arm. It's been there for like 2 weeks, and it's by all means getting better, but, well, I'm sure you've had a scab or something at some point in your life that it just begs to be picked. I was just taking a gander at the monitor, making sure that the color is good. That's an important part, because I found you'll see I moved the camera a bunch throughout this video because the lighting is good, because the garage door is open, so the lighting, there's natural light coming into the garage, but when I turn it around, it just makes it dark. So this will be my third set that I go into now, of 15 reps. I think this one burned pretty good. I had to take a breather. So yeah, there we go. We got 1, 2, 3. It's already hard, I can see. 4. That's 5. I'm going to my happy place here. As you can see, it's when I close my eyes, I can just envision the weight going up and down, up and down. That's where I was trying to take a break, but I had to stand up. It was too heavy. Not that it was too heavy. It was sore and finish it off, I blast these out. If anybody ever tells you that you don't make faces when you're working out, of grimacing and discomfort, well, then they're lying to you and they've never worked out ever. That's the easiest thing to say here. Alright. So, now I'm going to be adjusting this because this is when I originally thought that I was doing lat pull downs with seated row. So, this is where I adjust the camera, looking for that. Yeah, so now you can see what that sign says. I want buns of steel, but I also like to eat cinnamon buns. Very true. Cinnamon buns are delicious. I actually ate one like 2 days ago, and I really enjoyed it. This garage is perfect for working out. The epoxy floor makes everything easy to clean off, and those mats are perfect for a gym from, destroying your floor. So, right here is when I'm just taking a breather. I'm thinking. I'm just sort of psyching myself up to get ready to do this. I think a couple times here I actually I'm not happy with how the camera is sitting once I've set it up. It's kind of annoying when you get all ready and into position, and then you're all ready to go, and then you lean back, and then you recognize that the camera is not actually capturing all of you, so you have to adjust it. Super, super annoying. So this one is 3 sets of 15 for, see, look, here we go. Yeah, I get annoyed. Gotta move the damn camera. There we go. So, good. Alright, so as you can see, setting up again, I've got 220 pounds on these rack there. I wish I had more weight. I'd probably lower my reps down to like 10 or 12 if I could add more, but 220 that's all I'm gonna get. So we will go for the first set here. Now, this one is all about driving your elbows back. You don't want to pull with your biceps, because if you pull with your biceps, well, you're turning it into a bicep workout. You want to pretend like you're pulling your elbows backwards and squeezing the center of your back together. I can tell you this burns like no other. You can see the reps are getting less and less in terms of like hitting my chest. But life's all about I took a breather there. My forearms were on fire. Like I said, many other exercises out there to work on your grip strength, which I believe I do when I do strictly bicep curls. But if I'm focusing on the big one, see, here we go. I get distracted again by that damn thing. My bicep vein is just popping. So, I'm going to move that camera again, give you another better view. You can see how the lighting changed when I went from that side angle to, the angle you're seeing now. I know, I get so preoccupied in all these things on my body. At this point, like, I'm sweating, so I'm just noticing everything right now. You can see my biceps already popping pretty good at this point. And I'm not really the most comfortable person in the world. Nor am I the most flexible person either. I'm just looking at my list there just to confirm what I'm doing. So 15 sets at 220 pounds. No belt on this one because it would be very uncomfortable if I had that belt on. So first hand's always easy to wrap because I have my other hand assisting. But I give it a little pull there because that, for me, that makes it a lot easier to get it tight. And I've sort of mastered how to do this with one hand now. It's way easier doing this. I had itchy nose there. I had to itch it with my singular finger. Okay, so I'm set up, getting set up, taking a breather, 15 repetitions, and it starts to burn, I can tell you that. Alright, so here we go. 1, 2, really pull those elbows back, feel the squeeze, that's 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, yeah, really push, 7. You can see I'm already sore. I've got my Linkin Park playing. I think that's what was playing. My shoulders and back are on fire. And because this does incorporate some of your biceps, well, those are just burning. Yeah, my face just says it all right there. That's me being extremely sore. Trying to stretch out my forearms there because they're burning right now, I can tell you that much. But you don't want to take breaks that are too long, because if you take a break that's too long, well, your body cools down. Not that that's a huge thing, but yeah, notice my legs here were just looking jacked at this point. It wasn't even leg day, but those things were popping. So, I'll probably end up getting into that third set pretty soon. Again, like I said, don't mind that farmer stand. There was a little piece of hair on the ground there, and it was annoying me. So that's what I moved. What do you think about my gym? For a home gym setup, I think it's pretty darn good. I know some people can have more, some people have less, but you work with what you've got, and for me, it gives me the opportunity to continuously work out and really push myself without having to pay a gym membership. Yes, I paid a lot of money to make the gym, but for me it's the time factor as well, not to mention the gym membership and just the ability to work out when I want to without having to get somewhere. I value time. So, as you can see, I'm getting ready for this third and final set, and we're almost halfway done the workout in general. After this, I have 3 more exercises to really build up my muscles, my biceps. If you can't tell, today is a back and biceps day. So, remember, quality over quantity. I'm going for 15, but I really want to make sure that my quality is up there, touching my chest each time. If I have to stop or take a breather like that, I will. Rome was not built in a day, and because Rome was not built in a day, well, neither was a sculpted body. Everything takes time. Always so nice when you're done that final rep of that exercise. Let me tell you, nothing feels better than that. At this point, I definitely had a pump. I always find that I can do chest workouts and I get a really big pump. But when I do a back workout, I don't get that big of a pump on my back, but I get a big pump in my rear delts and my biceps. So right here, I'm actually just adjusting the legs of the camera here. So see what I mean? When it's facing outwards into the sun, it gets a little darker, unfortunately, which is annoying. it's a Peloton that I have in the corner there. I use that in the winter. I like to use my road bike a lot more during these beautiful months. I believe that I adjust the camera at least once or twice more just to get that door you're looking at also that's open. That's leads into my house. So like I said, the ability to just work out and then be done, walk into my house right away, go have a shower, eat some food. So what I'm doing here is hammer curls with 35-pound dumbbells. This is 3 sets of 12 reps. At this point, my biceps were already tired, but no more straps. This is where grip strength works out. Let me tell you, the first 3 to 5 reps, they're pretty easy. It starts to get heavy, though, like really heavy. My face says all of it. No amount of Linkin Park can tell me my biceps do not burn. I tried giving you other angles here, but I figured the tattoo side just doesn't give the best angles as opposed to the non-tattoo side. Now, as you get tired when you're doing workouts, especially biceps, you're going to have some body sway. Oh, yes, I had to do a nice pose here. That's not even flexing. That's just to show you there's a pump. And when there's a pump, well, they're even bigger. I'm actually going to be getting my tattoo extended all the way down my arm soon in the next couple months, so that'll be exciting to see. I'm just contemplating life here at that moment and then staring at some more things on my body. I'm super sweaty at this point, and if I have a pimple, well, it's just exasperated at this point and becomes visible. Now, when I was posing there, like, who doesn't pose when they have the opportunity to see themselves? I can tell you that my biceps were feeling pretty hot right here, pretty warm. And I'm definitely sweating. I can see the glistening off the back of my head there. So, let's get into the second session here of those biceps. You really can see my front delt starting to pop a lot more, and that farmer stand is just beyond noticeable. So, like I said, there is body sway that will come into this. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It's just if you're at that point, your body is fatigued. So you're really pushing yourself past 100% here to get that rep. But that's what you want to do. Yeah, I remember my biceps were on fire. My face says it all. Slowly working on that stomach, though. Wasn't the prettiest thing. Yeah, see, I'm sweating buckets here. I think it was hot. That's all I know. It was hot. I don't actually know what the temperature was. Just having another session here where I look at myself because, well, who doesn't look at themselves in the mirror? Well, I do, at least. So that was set number 2, so we've got set number 3 coming up soon. I tell you, I'm sitting around probably 15% body fat here, so if I got down to like 12%, everything would look better, but I think I like food too much, and it sucks to starve yourself. So I figure, have a little bit of fat on your body, fill out shirts a little bit better, but have the ability to eat food. Oh yeah, right here. My right shoulder's been giving me issues when I extend it back. So exercises that I have to finish off with at the very end. Again, just contemplating life here before I get down for this third and final set. I have another Alpha Elite shirt. Now, actually, what you're going to notice here is I change out how I do them. Instead of going just up with my body, I'm sort of shaping them into the center of my chest. I'm still working my biceps here, but it's just a better range of motion that's comfortable because my arms were so fatigued, but I wanted to be able to complete the exercises still. You know what they say, if you don't push your body, I had to take a breather here. My arms were so on fire. These are 35 pounds, but I could go heavier, but I'm trying to keep my quality over quantity here. Really wish my calves would get a little bigger, but those are just hard to grow. I'm not even flexing my arm here. I was telling myself, and I was like, wow, it's so big. You flex, you can really see how it grows. And the shoulder has a good little pump on it right now. Here, I'm just having a thought. I think the next song came on at that point. Just staring at all that sweat. I think I was talking to the camera there saying, wow. Alright, so, as you can see, what I mean, the lighting gets a little different when I have it facing away. I was supposed to be doing bicep curls here, but I'm really trying to find that section, that viewpoint. You'll see what I mean here. How it gets a little bit, it's hard to find that. See what I mean? It gets dark when you point the camera into the sun. Super annoying, but what can you do? So I end up just putting the camera outside of the garage, and then Blue came by again to say hello. I was pretty sweaty at this point, so all she wanted to do was lick me. She always seems to do downward dog, and then puts her butt on the ground like so. Boom, just plants it. So I was happy with this session, this angle. Now what I'm going to be doing here is cable curls, single cable curls with 44 pounds. And I make sure to lean forward so that it gets a nice pull or a nice stretch on the bicep as it goes backwards. Make sure when you go backwards, when you are elongating the head of your bicep, that you don't go back quickly. You want it to be nice and controlled going backwards, because if you go too quick, you could snap the bicep muscle that's attached to your joint there where the tendon is, and I'm not sure if you've ever ruptured a bicep before, but I have not, but I can tell you it's very, very uncomfortable. That's me just expressing how much the burn is in my bicep there. For this side, I figured I was trying to find an angle where you could still see me doing the bicep curl, without my body being in the way. And well, I try many ways, and I think at the end of this I just end up saying screw it, and I just try and angle my body in a direction where I can show you some of the bicep getting worked, and I just want to continue on with my workout, so it may focus and unfocus at specific times, but it's all about being here for the workout, right? The camera shook there because one of the things fell on the floor and hit the camera on the way down. These are such definitely real. Well, I think that's pretty apparent based on my facial reaction on my face. Feels so good to be done that set. So I'd have one more exercise to do after this workout. I had some sweat in my eye there. It was dripping. It was hot. Everything was warm on my body. I was just waiting. Yeah, I definitely have a pump. Feels good. I don't know if you've ever had a pump in your bicep where your vein pops out and your biceps just are speaking to you. So, after this, I have two more sets of these repetitions to do, and then I have one more exercise afterwards. For me, it's all about pushing yourself as far as you can. You'll see I finally found a angle that I'm happy about. Alpha lead. That's who. My dog's in the way. She just wants to play. Not even play. She just wants to give love. She's such a good girl, and I love her coat. She's so glistening, and we don't really feed her like, anything special. We give her some really high quality dog food as opposed to your standard dog food, but when they are a member of your family, you want to give them the best that you can give them without going broke. And for me, I figure it's always good to give your dog the best things you can give. So let's start the second set. You can see my veins are just popping here. The bicep is full, I'll tell you that much. And I believe I said I'm doing 44 pounds here. I certainly could probably go up to 55. But for now, the burn is enough that 44 will have to do. I tell you, I'm always happy once I finish that final rep. But for me, I just had to take a break there. It doesn't mean that I failed, but quality over quantity. Reset, give yourself a breather for 5 seconds, and then go back. If you got the extra time, it's worth it. Blue just hangs out with me here for a couple minutes. All she honestly wanted in this moment was dinner. That's all she wanted. But she'll get it soon enough. Alright, so just pushing through this workout. I tell you, I can't, my biceps are so pumped that I can't actually do a full contraction at the top. That's why my arms don't fully do it. Again, I had to take a breather on that arm. It's just super sore. My face, you can see I am grimacing. But no pain, no gain. That's all you gotta do. So I've got one more set on this, and then the final exercise, which I really like because it works my rear delts. And I always felt that my rear delts were lacking a little bit. Blue saw someone walk by, so she just had to say hello. But yeah, she was licking me here. I was sweaty all over, and you know how good a dog's nose is. She's a good girl. She's the best girl. So let's get ready and go into that final set that we're gonna do, and then we'll be on to the final exercise. It's been nice having you here with me while I'm working out. It's nice to have an audience to work out for. If you like this type of video, this ASMR style video, please let me know in the comments below, and I can certainly do more of these. So let's get into it. Final set here of 15 reps on my left and right arm. You can see I can't even do a full curl almost right now because the lactic acid is just built right up. I tell you, it's tiring. And my bicep is absolutely on fire. It's all about taking breathers, right? Quality over quantity. So let's get back into it. Blast out those final reps. Thank goodness, because I tell you, my body was just done. I was tired. I was hungry. I was hot. I'm just telling Blue here to get back inside because she started wandering into the driveway. She's super good. She'll listen to my commands and do everything that I ask her to do. Yeah, look at her coat. Super, super nice coat. Very glistening and glossy. I was just taking these tools down because they fell last time, and it was annoying when they fell down, so easier to just get them out of the way. So let's blast these last 15 reps on this exercise. I can tell you, if you've never worked out your biceps to failure, you should give it a go. They are a muscle that you can certainly push to failure and then some, as opposed to other big muscle groups. They're sort of fast twitch fibers. So in order to grow your biceps, you want to push them even harder than your chest, your back, or your legs when you're working out. You can see I'm so happy that I'm done. Yeah. That says it all right there, that face. Put those tools away. And I believe I'll be moving the camera here and giving you the final workout, which is some rear delt cable curls. Rear delt cable flies. And this is just 2 sets of 20 reps. When you're doing these, you want to put them about chest height. Blue is always intrigued when I do workouts. I always wonder what's going through her mind. She has this little tiny brain that's doing her own thought process. And she sort of just stands there and watches as we do stuff. So, we will move the camera for, I believe, either the second or the second to last time. And we'll get it set up. I gotta make sure that the height is appropriate so you can actually see what I'm working out. I already know that I'm not gonna keep it there because it makes everything dark. I need to figure that out for another video because it'd be great to get those angles and show you them. But for now, we'll just do it this way. So, like you can see, I have the cables set up, chest height, and I will just grab, once I set the weight to the 22 pounds, I will then go ahead and do the final 2 sets. I think though on this first set that the machine bugs me when I pull it. Yeah, I need to adjust something because it was a little bit sticky. And when you're trying to do weights, when the cables are supposed to be smooth, second to last set, 20 reps. Now, you just need to go to the halfway mark, and you're pulling, getting a nice, you're trying to squeeze the pencil between your scapula in your back. They go down your spine and your erectors. Trying to get a good squeeze. It's hitting the back muscle on your shoulder. You have your front, and you have your side, and you have your rear delts. This exercise is working your rear delts, and you can see it's not easy. But if it was easy, well, you wouldn't be growing any muscles. All right, we have the final exercise coming up. We have the final set coming up. So excited for it to be done. I don't know about you, but when I get to the very end of my workouts, these are my most favorite times. Yeah, see, I'm disappointed again because I was expecting it to stay bright. What did it do? It did not stay bright. It's dark. I'm just annoyed at this time because I'm sweaty. I'm hot. See, look at that. I bring it near the garage where there's more light. And I realized there that one of the cables was actually higher than the other side. And I didn't even notice it. So now you can see that they're equal and they're level. So here we go. Exactly what I said there. One more set. Noticing my teeth here are pretty white, actually. Just taking good care of them. I'll have to fix that mustache. All right. Getting ready to do the final sets. Oh, what a glorious time this will be. All right, here we go. 20 to go. It's not supposed to be easy. Remember that. If it was easy, well, you would not be growing muscles. I can tell you here that I was just counting those reps to 20 because it's such a satisfying feeling to be done. Taking a breather. Quality over quantity. I'm just telling myself here that I can do it. Pushing yourself past comfort into discomfort creates results. The final couple here, the one and done. Whew. My face said it all there. I'm not breathing hard, but I definitely have a pump like no other. Different style of cardio. It's all about building your muscles slowly. But I'm so happy, and I'm so happy you came along for this adventure, and we'll see you in the next video.